my sciatica.
Howdy ho, people. Nah, I don't want to ask what's crack-a-lacking because, like I said it here in the title, just going to give thoughts on Charlottesville here. As somebody who is a rational, logical thinker, I'm seeing a lot of vitriol from both sides with the Charlottesville thing. First, let's go to the one that won't have people turn me off right away, and that's these white supremacists. The white supremacy movement is a childish, violent, thought-provoking group. When you sit there and say, we don't want stuff taken away and we're a white nation and all this kind of stuff, you're giving into identity politics, which is what I'll touch on later from the other side. But if you want to do a rally simply because of rights of Robert E. Lee, which you're allowed to do in this country, but if you go in there with the intent to antagonize groups that have become violent in the past because you think it is going to work in your favor, you are showing nothing but the wrong message for anybody else. You are emboldening the warped ideology of the far left. That's one. And you are showing people like me that there may be something to the far left when they say that there is a lot of racism in the conservative section. Now, because I know better, I know that that's not the case. There was 1,200 people at that rally, and of course I know that MSN skews that, and they skew that, and what they tried to do is show that everybody was given the salute and everybody had Confederate flags, which wasn't the case, but still it doesn't make people marching alongside with those less guilty of that message. You're condoning that. Unless you're going to these people telling them to stop, that's not what this thing is about, then you are basically complacent in what they were doing. And they were doing it to get Antifa to be violent, which you don't really have anything worse to do to Antifa but show up and want to speak freely. Now on to that, because that has been discussed by many media outlets about white supremacy and it's the downfall. What I want to tell to the far left is if you have hate and violence and you spout all that rhetoric day in and day out, when you have a good minority of people on social media saying, I can't wait for the white race to die off, or white people are the cause of every problem that has happened in the world today, you are the creators of these white supremacists. You are complacent and have a foothold in the creation of a monster. The monster that you wanted because it gives you the satisfaction to know that you're right. You were right all along. Well, you weren't. This wasn't widespread until you guys started trashing places and calling Ben Shapiro, of all people, an alt-right supremacist, when he's been attacked by the individuals that you saw marching more than anybody else during the election season, simply because he's an Orthodox Jew. So what I'd ask, I have a, there's what I'd ask of everybody. If you're white, a white male, and you're angry and you're seeing all this rhetoric, put down your social media. Live your life the best you can. Fight for state rights. That's wonderful. But don't sit here and think that just because a small minority of people who tend to be black or Hispanic, or even what I see a lot of white paid individuals saying that whiteness is a disease or something of that nature. Fight that thought. Don't fight the people. Fight that thought. You don't give in to another hate group and say that, well, we need an identity politic group either, because you're missing the boat. You're missing the point, is that identity politics is bad. It is judging a person by the content of their character and not the color of their skin, not the God they worship, and not the culture they come from. There are bad people that are black that you see on the news all the time. That doesn't mean that the person that you work with who always refills the water cooler or who asks how your day is in line with those zealots. Just as you don't represent me. Let's get that clear right now. People like you don't represent me or people who are told that we're conservative. Which I am in a financial sense, but not a social sense. As for the far left, if you are the one spouting all these generalizations, which you tend to do constantly, if you're the one jumping on a bandwagon to get a paycheck, to spout everything is racist, everything is sexist, and you need to point it all out, you are part of the problem. And you are the root cause of things that happened as well. That's not excusing these individuals that went there looking for a fight. And lastly, the police officers of Charlottesville, Virginia. What the hell were you thinking? What were the politicians there thinking? Sending you off right as anger and the violent pejorative started flying. You knew what was going to happen, but you let it happen anyway. And a woman who I would probably vehemently disagree with and argue with on various topics is dead because of it. I don't want people to die. I want people to lose their ignorance. I don't want people to die for something like this. And if you're one of the left that is using her death to push your narrative and agenda and further escalate hate and rhetoric, violent rhetoric, you're no better than those white supremacists. So that's my take on Charlottesville. Just have conversations. Talk to people. And we have four hate groups, hate terrorist groups in this country, all identity politics, which is cancerous. It's a tumor. And it's a pandemic across this country simply because of an election, even though it was boiling when Barack Obama was president. And you have one side blaming Barack Obama, and you have the other side blaming Donald Trump. It's not their fault. It's not them. Okay? It's you not being able to dissect reason. Being indoctrinated in colleges, being told what you're supposed to believe, or going online and listening to a shit poster, and thinking that's their word is bond because it is the opposite spectrum of what you see on the media, which are lies. Use reason, okay? So you have the four hate groups. You have La Raza, which is the hate group for Hispanic identity politics. You have Black Lives Matter, which is the hate group for Black America. And don't be dissuaded. There's many, many videos of showing Black Lives Matter calling for the heads of cops. Again, generalization. And rioting and destroying buildings. Antifa, which is the biggest hate group because they're funded by an individual that wants to cause unrest in civilized Western countries because it profits him. And then you have the white supremacists, which after Charlottesville, even though they failed horribly, their tactics of trying to look good out of that that mess. What happened and the aftermath, with everybody blaming Trump for not disavowing one part. You have to be specific. No president's ever been specific when it comes to that. Because it's hate all around. It was hate all around. They don't want to sit there and say something that will come back and be a falsehood, because then they just look bad. Okay? So that's why they disavow everybody that was involved in that. Rightfully so. Including the police, which should have been the case, but it hasn't been. So, I mean, a tragedy like that, because and what's not being spread with the mass media is that 19 people were injured because Antifa attacked people with pepper spray and even an aerosol can used as a flamethrower. And then one person died on the other side, and that's all they're talking about, is that one person that died on the other side. They're not talking about the 19 people that were injured elsewhere, and some of them were just innocent. They weren't part of any group. And that's the problem we're going to have here. When these 4 hate groups in this country start attacking each other at will, it's always the innocent people. That's happened throughout history. Innocent people have died. Now, saying that, let's get back to liberty or death, where yes, even during the American Revolution, the people hit hardest on both sides were the innocent people that just wanted to farm and live and raise their family. They were attacked by Native Americans. They were attacked by the British. They were attacked even by Americans. There were bad people on the American side, like I told you, people like Charles Lee, who didn't adhere to the gentleman's act of war, as it were. Like war can be placed as gentlemanly, whatever. However, horrible disgraces on that side of just stealing people's food and hurting innocent people. Now, we got William Alexander, Lord Sterling, and we're going to see exactly what he can do. Now, can he drill? He's got 57. So we're going to drill him. All right, now he's 70. Now we're going to rest him, because he's the only one in the central now. We have Horatio Gates. No one can train. Info, what do we got? Horatio Gates and Talmadge. My little spy. Okay. Oh, that's right. What I'm going to do is I'm basically... I can't move Talmadge. So we're going to have to rest here. Got $11. Nathaniel Green. What do we got? Nathaniel Green and Worcester, who's got 90 loyalty. We can't really afford to take on salary here. Bum, bum, bum. And we got another loyalist faction, I believe, in 18. And I say it's a loyalist faction. I can't really see what the color coding is, but I believe that's not on the coastline, and the British can only... They can't just pop up in the middle of the map. They need a coastline in order to get a foothold. So let's look at Nathaniel Green, who's got 379, and Daniel Worcester. Now, we want to hold down Boston. I'm wondering if we should... let's just parade for them. So we got 86 there. We'll rest them. And we got 2 captains here. We got Aaron Burr and Nathan Hale. I think we can move these guys now. We can't move Burr, but we'll move Hale. And we'll just say okay for that. Excuse me. And Hale arrived safely. We'll rest Burr. All right, now these are the guys I want: Morgan, Arnold, Stark, and Boyd. All right, so what we're going to do first is reform Stark. Actually, can I recruit him? Personnel, recruit. Stark's not going to answer. Okay. And now he's too tired. So I screwed that one up. Yay! All right, Christopher Green. All right, can you parade now? No, you're still a little hurt. Now, George Washington. Let's see if we can. Battle. Berlin. Oh boy. Hmm. Let's look at our info on our districts here. 53, 53, 88, 50, 59. William Heath. Like we said, Heath is not so good. So we really don't want to support him. Although he's much better than he should be in there. Alright. Let's see if we can just parade around here. We have good people that we can parade. 57. Wonderful. So we're going to arrest them. William Thompson. I don't think we're going to be able to move these guys to 14. Yeah, Glover. Nope, Glover and Knowlton. So these guys are just sitting there so I could furlough them. Now we got Schuyler. Let me see, Schuyler. Schuyler. Training. What's their training? Arm 62, train 68, morale 83. Jameson. Jameson has 73 men. Train 53, arms 51. Yay. We're going to rest here. And I think Sullivan's good enough to go. So we're going to... We got support. We're going to... No, not drill. We're going to try to get Sullivan to push up. And he's got money too. Alright, so we're going to attack White Plains and see who's up here. Alright. No. View. Okay, now remember I said that all sides, there's good and bad people on every side. Well, Joseph Brant is one of the bad ones. From the Native American side. He was called Monster. Now, of course, historians argue, when we're going back and doing revisionist history, because it wasn't right to say that these guys skinned people and scalped them. Even though there was one revolutionary guy who later on down the road lost his life out west around Kentucky or Tennessee, where the Native Americans called the battlefield the Pumpkin Field. And the reason they called it the Pumpkin Field wasn't because of pumpkins, but because they scalped every soldier on that field, and their heads looked like pumpkins. Yeah, try to keep that image from haunting your nightmares. But Joseph Brant was Tyadeanega. That was his Iroquois name, or his Mohawk name. I think he was a Mohawk. So he was a Mohawk, but he was part of the Iroquois nation because Mohawks were part of that tribe. He was part of the Iroquois Council. But he was also in league with the British because his sister was married or sold off to a high-ranking superintendent of Indian Affairs. So they got they did a lot of atrocities here in New York, and he was basically the chief tactician for the Indian tribes during this time, going against the Americans. So he is a very tough. He should be a very tough fight. He's got good tactics. Yep, he's got good tactics. They got good training. But he's not very disciplined simply because, well, he's Native American, so he doesn't really have any kind of loyalty. Oh, Sullivan. Oh boy. And we're losing. We're gonna lose this battle. All right. We are gonna lose this battle. We're gonna try to retreat, and we withdraw. Okay. So we got defeated by Joseph Brant. Good job, Joseph Brant. I think what we're gonna try here. Now we're gonna try to push up. I said I wanted to stay, but I think we're gonna try to push up Richard Montgomery and try to get Canada out of the playing field. And we're going to get Arnold Stark. No, not Stark, but Arnold and Boyd. And see if that helps our cause any. I don't think it will. All right. We got to wait for Arnold to get up here. So, going to take some days. And I just screwed that one up because I thought I could cross here. So I am kind of doomed. All right. Oh boy. That's Guy Carlton. And John Andre. I am not gonna. Maybe John Andre and Benedict Arnold will meet. So we got defeated again. That's not good. This is not good. Make 2 promotions for the autumn quarter. I can't afford to. No, I cannot afford. Well, we could give do Knox and Alexander. Board of War. 1 Central, 1 Delaware. He's got nothing. And we're kind of doomed. Don't have anything. I can't. Oh, boy. So Britain. Alright, so we got Return Meigs returning. Peter Gansfort. Well, Peter Gansfort, let me just see. We got Return Meigs. Training, no. Shit. Reservist drill. $70-40. No one could train. Damn it. So, Peter Gansevoort got his commission due to Philip Schuyler. He's, as you can see, Gansevoort. He's part of the Dutch settlers of New York before the English came over. So his family was entrenched in New York, but he was just very influential, and he did just the defense of Fort Stanwix. So he proved himself to be able, not great, but able. But he wanted to fight because he was a merchant, and a lot of these guys were merchants of one sort of one type of another. So wine merchants, sea merchants, that type of thing. So it shows you when it comes to freedom, it's the people who are self-employed that are going to be the ones that make the most noise. So here, I don't know what we can do. I think maybe, I mean, we're just going defeat after defeat after defeat here. Guy Carleton, by the way, was the governor of Quebec, so he was in charge of all Canada. He did great. He was the one that had the defense of Quebec and held back the American forces. So we never, we didn't try to. We lost some good generals trying to get there, trying to overtake Canada. When John Burgoyne was told to come right down here and try to split. So he was coming down here, have a little offset, a flank, come here, take that, his main force here, and then Saratoga's right up here somewhere. And then he was supposed to come down and cut it right off so that the revolution would die here, right in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut after taking New York. When John Burgoyne was told he was going to be the one doing it from William Howe, and William Howe had some trepidations about Carleton, even with his good tactical sense, he didn't want, he was a little older, so he didn't want him coming down. He didn't really prove himself in a frontline battle, but he was a very good defense commander. And so, and Carleton was kind of put off by that, and so he wanted to get recalled. So he got recalled, and then he came back later, and helped with evacuating British soldiers from New York. So really didn't do much, Guy Carleton, but here he's got great tactics. Let's see. Oops. Let's see if we can battle Berlin. And we'll just bring Arnold and Meigs over. We'll do 1001. Oy, oy, oy. Do that. Bring the money. And now we're going to get Thomas Knox, Lee, Washington, Ethan Allen, J. Thomas, not Putnam, not Gansevoort. We'll bring Mason. So we're going to have two cannon here. See if we can kind of take it in that manner. Thomas, Knox, Lee, Washington, Allen, and Mason. Good, good. Ooh, thank you. And who do we have here? Simon Fraser. Yeah, Simon Fraser. Not a lot about these guys. This guy, Simon Fraser, he's best known for being the vanguard of Saratoga, and he died at Bemis Heights. He's again, he should be better tactics, but I wish I could really do the hex files here. I really do. He's got 84 arms too. Very good discipline. But Benedict Arnold, again, we didn't really use anything but guerrilla type tactics. But General Arnold told his men to target Simon Fraser because Simon Fraser had his men really Simon Fraser had his men fighting harder than humanly possible because he had his guys rallied, and yeah, so Arnold wanted to take him out. Alright, let's see what we got here. And the turn. Mason's just horrible. But he does have cannon, and that's what we need to do. Good lord. And the turn. And the turn. Get up there and turn. Jiminy Christmas, your body sucks. I think I just screwed it up too. I should have just sent him that way. Good. Dumbass. I am not a good tactician, which is why I'm losing. I'm losing this war! And he withdrew. Yay! The invasion is good. Alright. So can we have anybody move to Norwich? Yeah, Arnold can move. So we'll put him back there. We did get what we needed. I'll do 1150. And then here, 2000. Hmm. $88. We will bring money because we're going to buy arms up here. Alright, so now are these guys loyalty good? Can I recruit? No. Can I recruit? Glover is in charge. Alright, so $1,400. And you know what? I brought a lot of food. 1,400. All right. Yeah, we got him. All right, so he withdrew. Hmm. $18. We're gonna take all the rations. There. Brant's there. Christopher Green, let's see if we can parade you around, buddy. Stunning. 1 freaking point. Nope, Aaron Burr's just got no body whatsoever. Richard Montgomery. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, so we're going to have to move him down to 16 because he lost basically everything and his guys are starving. That sucks. Yep, and they came right down too. Just move. Uh, 87. Move to 11. $405. 468. Yeah. All right. Now Worcester's. Whoa. Yeah. Shoot. I screwed that up. So we can keep that empty part in there. Go up to 10. There. There. Ooh, we got $12. All right, Stanwyck. Nope. No, 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 no. Nope. Nope. Son of a bitch. See if we can get it. Nope. He's got nothing. Lord Sterling has nothing. So they give us a little bit here. Can we push them back? Ticonderoga. Yeah, let's freaking try it. There. 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 Let's go. Okay, we're gonna get Boyd. Then Stanwyck, we're gonna get Schuyler. Hopefully this will be enough. I doubt it. Okay, good. So we got one guy. Just go this way. This way. Under the cover of night. Who is this? Ah, it's frickin' Carlton. Good going, Gates. Well, that's it. Nothing but defeat. And that's where we'll leave it off here. Oh, boy. So we've gone defeat after defeat after defeat. We're losing this war. Our morale is shaken. What will we do? How can we succeed? We have blockades here in the middle colonies and the middle colonies. We got a bunch. We got loyalists and the British on the southern coast. So we're going to be doomed here if we don't get our butts in line. The Hessians are coming. They will attack with full force and a lot more numbers. And we got to be ready for it. So thank you, and join me next time. Get off my American Revolutionary lawn.